Connie, dog. Connie, Russian, January 3, 1999, February 22, 2014, full name Connie Leod Paulgrave, also known as Connie, was a female black Labrador Retriever belonging to the President of Russia, Vladimir Putin. Connie was often seen at the president's side, including at staff meetings, and when Putin greeted world leaders during their visits to Russia. Family. Connie, full name Connie Paulgrave, was born in 1999 at a cynology center located at the Ministry of Emergency Situations in Nogинsk, where she was to be trained as a search and rescue dog. Connie's parents are Henrietta Bush, mother, and Alcor Ross Bradford, father. In December 2000, Connie was presented to President Vladimir Putin as a gift by Sergei Shoigu. On December 7, 2003, the day of the 2003 legislative election, Connie gave birth to 8 puppies. One pup named Irina was given to a pensioner in Novozolotovka, Neklinovsky district of Rostov Oblast. Another pup, named Oscar, was given to a 6-year-old girl in Smolensk. 2 pups were given to the President of Austria, Thomas Klestil, as a symbol of Austrian-Russian friendship. The 2 pups are with Klestil's widow, Marko Klestil-Lufla, who is now the Austrian ambassador to the Czech Republic and has the dogs living with her in Prague. In December 2009, she was appointed Austrian ambassador to Russia, so they all returned to Moscow. Klestil-Lufla says that the 2 dogs, named Olya and Uri, have helped her deal with her husband's death. Another of Connie's pups was employed by rescue services in Vladikavkaz in North Ossetia, Alania. Relationship with Vladimir Putin. Since Connie became part of the Putin family, she was featured largely in the life of the president, and was regularly at her master's side. In 2007, organizers of the St. Petersburg Economic Forum, which is a regional meeting of the World Economic Forum, wrote to the presidential administration requesting a photograph of the president for his accreditation badge, and the Putin administration sent back to the organizers a photograph of Putin sitting in an armchair next to a fireplace with Connie lying at his feet. Answering a question at a press conference, Putin stated that, like everyone else, he too has occasional bad moods, and explained. Connie responded to simple commands given to her by Putin, including down, les hat, sit, side, heel, ride go, fuzz, and bark, golos, in addition to shaking hands. Although Connie was, for the most part, allowed to attend meetings with Putin, on occasion she was kept away from such functions. Rossiyskaya Gazeta recalled an incident in 2003, when journalists traveled to Sochi to discuss various issues with the president. Upon arrival at Bocharov Rushe, Connie, who was described as cheerful and inquisitive, greeted the journalists. When it came time to start the meeting, Putin's security details stopped Connie from following him. As the journalists and Putin started walking down the staircase, Connie rushed towards them and began to bark loudly at Putin. Irina Lesnevskaya, the president of REN TV, asked, "So who else here can so bark at the president?" Connie, in what appeared to be an expression of dissatisfaction and not being allowed to participate in the meeting, continued barking, and refused several orders by Putin to come to him, leading Lesnevskaya to ask, "So who else can disobey the president?" In the public eye. In December 2004, Connie was taken to a children's New Year's Eve party at the State Kremlin Palace by Putin. While Putin was on stage giving a speech to the media, politicians and the public, Connie escaped from her holdings and joined her owner on stage. Connie gained fame when Detskaya Literatura, one of the oldest publishing houses and the largest publisher of children's books, published a book in 2004, entitled Connie's Stories. The 60-page book written by Irina Borisova in English, chronicles the life and adventures of a black Labrador named Connie. At the end it is revealed that Connie, is the president's dog. Connie gained additional public exposure when she was present at an April meeting with Putin and President of Belarus, Alexander Lukashenko, in Sochi. Connie's visibility in the meetings of Putin with world leaders led to the publication by Ogoniak of a satirical series of comic strips that features Connie as an advisor to Putin on matters relating to the foreign relations of Russia. In July 2006, in an online conference organized by Yandex and the BBC, Putin revealed that Connie ate 2 to 3 times a day and had a penchant for porridge with meat. During the same online question and answer session, Putin reiterated a request that he had previously made on his website for people not to feed Connie, stating. In December 2007, Sergei Ivanov updated Putin on the progress of the Russian global navigation satellite system GLONASS, When Putin inquired whether he would be able to buy a device hooked into GLONASS that would allow him to keep track of Connie, Ivanov advised Putin that collars for pets would be available in mid-2008. The collar was demonstrated to Putin on Connie on October 17, 2008, making Connie the first recipient of a GLONASS-enabled pet collar. Russian politics. In February 2005, the We Youth Movement, a member of the Other Russia coalition, started a campaign to promote Connie for president. It was the opinion of the group that no matter who won the 2008 Russian presidential election, the operating head of state would remain the same, and hence Connie would make the best candidate. Georgy Satarov, a key member of the Other Russia, believed that if Putin were to have endorsed Connie as his successor, then 40% of the electorate would have voted for the Labrador, given that 40% of the people would have voted for whomever Putin endorsed for the election. Russian foreign affairs. Connie became a symbol of friendly meetings between the Russian president and world leaders, and was allowed to attend official meetings. A popular anecdote was when the Chancellor of Germany, Angela Merkel, met President Vladimir Putin. Putin brought Connie to their meetings. On January 21, 2007, the two leaders met at Bocharov Rushe, the president's summer residence in Sochi, and at the beginning of their meeting Connie wandered into the room, leading Putin to ask Merkel, who reportedly has a deep-seated fear of dogs, "The dog does not bother you, does she? She's a friendly dog and I'm sure she will behave herself." Merkel responded in Russian, a language in which she is fluent, "She doesn't eat journalists, after all." Connie then proceeded to sniff the German chancellor, and sat at her feet. Merkel was reported to have shown apparent discomfort. Putin later said that, after learning of Merkel's fear of dogs, he apologized to her. At a meeting with Putin in Sochi in March 2003, and again in April 2005, President of Belarus Alexander Lukashenko, who regarded Connie as a friend, attempted to call the dog to him. However, Connie did not respond, except for yawning at the Belarusian president on several occasions, before getting up and going over to the journalists who had gathered to cover the meeting. Death. Connie died in late 2014, at age 15 years old, and this was reported in the press in February 2015. Gallery.